I would like to thank Lord Dyson and his team for the report. It is welcome that the BBC accepts Lord Dyson's findings in full.
You feel pain like no other pain, and you know that in your life it's going to be very difficult to come across something that's going to be even worse pain than that.
Tucked deep inside Kensington Palace, behind layers of dust and decades of silence, Prince William found a box that wasn't supposed to exist. Inside, not just royal jewels, but something else, something personal. Some say it was a planned gift. Others call it a warning in disguise. Rumors swirl about what it meant and who it was really meant for. One piece in particular changed everything. It wasn't the sparkle, it was the message. And when William saw it, he didn't speak. He sat. Then he cried. What did Diana leave behind that still speaks louder than any crown? What secret did he unlock? Keep watching, because what's inside that box is more than royal history. It's personal, and it stings. The iconic sapphire.
Do you find it a very daunting experience that yesterday you were a nanny looking after children, now you're about to marry the Prince of Wales, and one day you would, in all likelihood, be Queen? It's a tremendous change for someone, if I may say, of 19 to make all of a sudden, the transition.
Among all the jewelry pieces associated with Princess Diana, none holds the emotional weight and public recognition quite like her sapphire and diamond engagement ring. Chosen personally by Diana from a Garrard catalog in 1981, the ring was unconventional for royal standards. Most royal brides had their engagement rings custom designed, often incorporating family heirlooms or rare stones. Diana, however, selected a striking 12-carat Ceylon sapphire surrounded by 14 solitaire diamonds, set in 18-carat white gold. Its bold elegance reflected both her taste and her independent spirit, signaling a modern shift in royal tradition even before she officially became Princess of Wales. The ring quickly became one of the most photographed and iconic pieces of royal jewelry in the world. It was worn through Diana's marriage to Prince Charles and remained a symbol of her enduring popularity and personal style. As her public role grew, so too did the symbolic power of the ring. Photographs of Diana waving to crowds or holding her sons often featured the ring prominently, cementing it in the public consciousness. It became more than a piece of jewelry. It was a cultural touchstone tied to Diana's grace, youth, and tragedy. After Diana's untimely death in 1997, the ring was passed down to her sons. A widely circulated rumor claims that Prince Harry initially inherited the ring, only to later give it to Prince William so he could propose to Catherine Middleton in 2010. According to this story, Harry traded the sapphire ring for another keepsake of Diana's, prioritizing sentiment over possession. While the exact details of this exchange remain private, the romantic gesture and brotherly bond it suggests has only added to the mystique surrounding the ring. Whether the story is fully accurate or not, it has become part of the lore around Diana's legacy and her son's deep connection to her memory. When William proposed to Catherine with Diana's ring, he did more than offer a token of love. He made a poignant statement about continuity, remembrance, and the lasting impact of his mother's life. "It was my way of keeping her close to it all," William stated in interviews at the time. The engagement became a media event in itself, with the ring once again splashed across front pages around the globe. For many, it felt like Diana's story had come full circle, not forgotten, but honored and carried forward into a new chapter of royal history. Today, the ring remains a visible emblem of Diana's influence. Often seen on Catherine's hand during official engagements, it continues to sparkle beneath cameras and adoring gazes. It serves as both a tribute and a legacy, a gem that, while once chosen in a catalog, has come to represent so much more: the enduring love of a mother, the bridge between generations, and the human side of royalty. The Spencer Gold and Eternity Rings. Before Diana became the Princess of Wales, she was Lady Diana Spencer, a member of one of Britain's most storied aristocratic families. The Spencers, whose lineage dates back to the 15th century, passed down heirlooms just as meaningful as any royal jewel. Among these were a simple yellow gold band and a white gold eternity ring, both believed to be family pieces worn by Diana in her earlier years. Unlike the grandeur of royal diamonds or state regalia, these rings carried a subtler, more personal significance. They weren't for the world to admire, but for Diana to feel grounded in her heritage. As Prince William once explained, when speaking about giving his mother's sapphire engagement ring to Catherine, "It's my mother's engagement ring, so I thought it was quite nice because, obviously, she's not going to be around to share in any of the fun and excitement of all this. This is my way of keeping her sort of close to it all." The gold ring, in particular, was often worn during Diana's engagement period and into the early years of her marriage. It did not carry the dramatic flair of her sapphire engagement ring or diamond-encrusted tiaras, but it spoke volumes about her connection to the Spencer legacy.
What kind of ring is it? Are you an expert on what's...
I'm not an expert on it at all. I've been reliably informed it's a sapphire with some diamonds.
Family insiders have said Diana valued these quieter pieces for what they represented: home, tradition, and her life before the spotlight. The eternity ring, a symbol of unending love, is thought to have been a gift from a family member, or possibly Prince Charles during the early honeymoon phase of their relationship. These heirlooms were rarely shown in public. Photographs from her pre-wedding years occasionally show Diana wearing the simple gold band, but she often replaced it during official functions with more extravagant royal jewelry. This shift, while expected, was also symbolic. It marked the transition from private daughter to public figure, something Diana would navigate for the rest of her life. The rings may not have appeared in tabloids, but they remained quietly present, tucked away in her personal collection, reminders of who she was beneath the titles and formalities. After Diana's death in 1997, many of her personal items were carefully cataloged and preserved. While more attention was paid to her public jewels and couture gowns, these lesser-known pieces were not forgotten. It is rumored that the gold band and eternity ring were kept in a private collection, possibly now in the possession of either William or Harry. Unlike the more visible jewelry passed on to Catherine or Meghan, these intimate items are said to have remained within the family, untouched by public spectacle, and worn only on deeply personal occasions. Ultimately, the Spencer family rings reflect the side of Diana the public rarely saw: private, grounded, and connected to her roots. While they may lack royal grandeur, they are imbued with emotional weight. In a life marked by public scrutiny and royal duty, these heirlooms represented the comfort of home and a life before the crown, a legacy of simplicity in a world of spectacle. The Cartier Trinity Ring.
The Queen lent both Kate and Meghan tiaras for their own wedding days. For Kate, the Cartier tiara with nearly 900 diamonds to its name, and given to the Queen on her 19th birthday.
Before Princess Diana became a global fashion icon adorned with tiaras and couture gowns, she quietly cultivated a personal style grounded in subtlety and symbolism. Among the most meaningful pieces in her early jewelry collection were the Cartier Trinity Ring and a gold signet ring bearing the insignia of the Prince of Wales. Unlike her more theatrical public jewels, these rings told a quieter story, one of identity, duty, and emotion carried in small, deliberate gestures. The Cartier Trinity Ring, composed of 3 interlocking bands in white, yellow, and rose gold, represented love, fidelity, and friendship.
As you can see, there is no inscription on the outer part of the 3 bands. So it's simply just 3 smooth bands with no writing or design.
Its symbolism is rich and universal, yet intimate. Diana wore the piece regularly in the early years of her royal life, often paired with casual ensembles during less formal outings. The design echoed Diana's preference for meaningful minimalism, during a time when she was still adjusting to life under public scrutiny. Though Cartier never publicly confirmed the origin of the piece, it was widely associated with Diana's private collection, and is seen in several photographs taken at Kensington Palace in the early 1980s. Equally significant was her gold signet ring, engraved with the Prince of Wales feathers, Charles's royal emblem. This ring was emblematic of her official role within the royal family, marking her transformation from Lady Diana Spencer to Princess of Wales. It is believed that the ring was a gift from Prince Charles either shortly before or after their engagement. Diana wore it on occasion during her early public life, particularly during official events that emphasized her new title and public responsibilities. It was not only a sign of status, it was a symbol of alignment with the royal institution she had married into. Unlike the sapphire engagement ring, which dominated tabloid covers, the signet and trinity rings held more personal, internal meaning. They did not command the same attention, but they captured the quieter emotions Diana carried: the weight of duty, the complexity of love, and the transition from personal identity to royal symbol. In interviews and informal photographs, Diana often clutched her hands or crossed her fingers when wearing these rings, subtle cues that have since been interpreted by body language experts as signs of inner tension. There are rumors that both rings were stored among Diana's most private effects after her separation from Charles. While the sapphire ring eventually re-emerged on Catherine Middleton's finger, these two modest rings have not been seen publicly in decades. It is speculated that they remain with either William or Harry, not as symbols of status, but as tokens of memory. Together, the Cartier Trinity and Signet rings reflect a chapter of Diana's life marked by deep personal transformation, a time when love, obligation, and uncertainty intertwined like the bands of a ring she once quietly wore. Wedding Day Jewelry. On July 29, 1981, the world watched as Lady Diana Spencer stepped into St. Paul's Cathedral to marry Prince Charles. While much attention was paid to her dramatic ivory silk taffeta gown, her jewelry made an equally powerful statement, one that quietly emphasized her identity not just as a royal bride, but as a Spencer. Instead of borrowing a tiara from Queen Elizabeth II's collection, Diana chose to wear the Spencer tiara, a dazzling piece with deep familial roots and historical resonance. The Spencer tiara is a delicate and ornate headpiece, made from elements assembled over nearly a century by the Spencer family. Its centerpiece is a stylized floral motif, flanked by continuous scrolling foliage, all set in silver and gold and adorned with diamonds. It had previously been worn by Diana's older sisters at their weddings, and had long been a symbol of Spencer womanhood. By choosing this piece over the more traditional royal tiaras, Diana asserted her independence and loyalty to her family roots, even as she was entering the highest echelon of the monarchy. Reflecting years later on the impact of that moment, Princess Diana told the BBC's Panorama in 1995, "On the day I walked down the aisle at St. Paul's Cathedral, I felt that my personality was taken away from me, and I was taken over by the royal machine."
I, Diana Francis,
I, Diana Francis,
take thee, Charles Philip Arthur George,
take thee, Philip Charles Arthur George,
to my wedded husband,
to my wedded husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
this day forward.
Accompanying the tiara were a pair of elegant diamond drop earrings lent to her by her mother, Frances Shand Kidd. The earrings were tasteful and understated, adding a touch of sparkle without competing with the brilliance of the tiara. These earrings were rarely discussed in the press, overshadowed by the grandeur of the tiara and gown, but they were deeply personal. They served as a gentle reminder that despite the enormous weight of public expectation, Diana remained a daughter and sister, a Spencer, on her wedding day. In the years following the wedding, Diana continued to wear both royal and Spencer family jewels, but the tiara became especially associated with her image. She wore it on numerous formal occasions, including state dinners and royal tours, often pairing it with her pearl chokers and structured gowns. Despite her eventual divorce from Prince Charles, the tiara was never absorbed into the royal collection. It remained with the Spencer family, a decision seen by many as symbolic of Diana's complex relationship with both her origins and her royal role. After Diana's death in 1997, the tiara has not faded from view entirely. It was worn by Diana's niece, Lady Celia McCorquodale, at her wedding in 2018, a tender nod to the aunt who made it globally famous. There are quiet rumors that it may one day be worn by one of William or Harry's daughters, should they choose to honor their grandmother's legacy. Until then, the Spencer tiara remains a cherished family heirloom, one that captured the world's gaze on a historic wedding day and continues to shimmer with the memory of a young bride who balanced tradition, beauty, and personal truth. The pearl symbolism. Pearls became one of Princess Diana's most iconic style signatures. More than just adornments, they were visual metaphors. She wore them not only for their elegance, but also for their symbolism, grace, resilience, and quiet strength. Throughout her royal life, Diana used pearls to project dignity during challenging times and to elevate her presence at diplomatic and charitable events. As one fashion writer noted, pearls became more than just a symbol of sophistication, but a way for women to show their power and confidence to society. Among the most memorable pieces in her collection were her multi-strand pearl necklaces and chokers, which she wore with a sense of regal poise and modern flair. One of her most famous pearl pieces was the Japanese pearl choker, consisting of 4 strands of pearls centered around a large diamond clasp. This particular choker was originally a gift to Queen Elizabeth II from the Japanese government and was loaned to Diana, signifying her high standing within the royal family at the time. She famously wore it during a state banquet in the 1980s, and again during a formal event with Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. The combination of simplicity and strength in the design mirrored Diana's public image: elegant, composed, but never understated. Diana also commissioned custom pearl chokers made from family heirlooms. One standout was the 7-strand pearl choker with a large sapphire center, which she wore to the 1996 Met Gala in New York. The piece was striking, bold, and unforgettable, marking her post-divorce evolution into a more confident and independent figure. This choker, paired with a navy slip dress, became one of her most talked-about looks, often cited as a defining fashion moment of the 1990s. It was not just about glamour. It was about asserting her voice and individuality in a world that often tried to silence both. Diana frequently wore pearls during high-pressure moments, and this choice was often strategic. Pearls project calm and control, qualities she was expected to embody in public. She wore pearl earrings and necklaces during interviews, charity visits, and even hospital stays. They were her armor, timeless, non-confrontational, and universally admired. These pieces became so closely associated with her that designers and stylists often replicated the look for media portrayals of Diana, including in recent films and series. Since Diana's death, her pearl legacy has lived on through both fashion and family. Catherine, Princess of Wales, has worn several of Diana's pearl earrings and necklaces on public occasions, paying tribute to her late mother-in-law with quiet dignity. One notable example is the Collingwood pearl drop earrings, worn by both Diana and now Kate during solemn and celebratory royal events. Through these enduring pieces, Diana's refined yet powerful aesthetic continues to influence royal fashion, proving that pearls, like her legacy, never go out of style. Wedding gifts from Charles. Among the most dazzling gifts Diana received as a new member of the royal family was an exquisite emerald and diamond suite, reportedly a wedding present from Prince Charles. The collection included a striking Art Deco-style emerald bracelet, a matching pair of drop earrings, and later, other complementary pieces like a coordinating necklace. These jewels were not only elegant, they were rich in symbolism. They represented a moment of unity and affection at the beginning of a marriage that, while eventually troubled, began with genuine promise. The emerald bracelet, in particular, was one of Diana's most frequently worn statement pieces during her early years as Princess of Wales. With its geometric structure and vivid green stones, It stood out even among the grandeur of royal jewelry. Diana often wore it during official royal tours, including a well-photographed appearance during her 1983 trip to Australia. The bracelet's bold elegance complemented her youthful charisma, and it quickly became a staple for formal occasions. Many fashion historians view this piece as an embodiment of Diana's growing comfort with regal glamour, while still holding on to her sense of individuality. The emerald and diamond earrings, which matched the bracelet in both design and tone, were also showcased at high-profile events. Their delicate drop structure framed her face beautifully, and Diana often paired them with her signature off-the-shoulder gowns. One particularly memorable moment was at a gala in Vienna, where she wore the full suite with a shimmering white dress, looking every bit the modern princess. These appearances solidified the emerald suite not just as jewelry, but as key elements in crafting her royal image. Though less well-known than her sapphire or pearl pieces, the emerald set is rumored to have remained in the family after Diana's death. It is believed to have been passed to her sons, though it has not yet reappeared in public on either Catherine or Meghan. Some jewelry watchers speculate that due to its unique and vintage design, it may be reserved for a future generation or special occasion. Its absence only adds to its mystique, preserving its connection to Diana's personal story. The Emerald and Diamond Suite captures a pivotal era in Diana's life, a time of transition, hope, and the initial embrace of royal responsibility. As a gift from Charles, it also represents the early gestures of affection in a relationship that would later become strained. Today, the suite remains a quiet relic of Diana's past, one that reflects both the shine of royal promise and the shadows that followed. Its story is less publicized, but no less profound. Bulgari, Gifts from Dodi Fayed. In the final chapter of her life, Princess Diana began to redefine her public image and personal style, moving away from the formal expectations of royal life and embracing a more cosmopolitan, independent aesthetic. A key figure during this period was Dodi Fayed, son of Egyptian billionaire Mohammed Al Fayed.
Where does this money come from?
The company is an international shipping company. We're based in Liberia. Banking operation, real estate.
As their relationship quickly became the subject of global fascination in the summer of 1997, so too did the subtle changes in Diana's fashion, including the jewelry she wore during their time together. Among the most talked about were a few modern Bulgari pieces, rumored to have been gifts from Dodi during their brief but intense time as a couple. To a close friend, journalist Rosa Monckton, Diana acknowledged these gifts, reportedly saying, "He's given me a bracelet. He's given me a watch." This brief confession underscored the personal nature of the relationship and the significance Diana placed on those simple, elegant tokens. One such piece was a seed pearl bracelet, spotted in candid photographs of Diana during a Mediterranean vacation on Dodi's yacht. The bracelet's understated elegance marked a noticeable departure from the more ornate pieces she had worn as a royal. There were also reports of a gold Bulgari watch, another rumored gift from Dodi, which Diana was seen wearing in late July 1997. These items reflected her changing tastes, minimalist, contemporary, and sophisticated, matching the image of a woman stepping out of the shadow of royal life. Though their romance lasted only a few months, Dodi and Diana's connection sparked intense media speculation. Rumors circulated that Dodi had plans to propose, and some even claimed that he presented Diana with a diamond ring shortly before their tragic car crash in Paris. However, Diana herself had privately pushed back against the idea of remarriage. According to a recollection by Diana's butler Paul Burrell, Diana once said, "I need marriage like I want a bad rash on my face." A Parisian jeweler later confirmed that Dodi had visited the store to purchase a ring labeled "Dis-moi oui," "Tell me yes," though there is no verified proof Diana ever received or accepted it. Nevertheless, this rumored proposal fueled decades of debate about Diana's intentions and her emotional state in her final days. The Bulgari pieces, though not officially catalogued among Diana's royal jewelry, have become symbolic of her post-divorce reinvention. Unlike the jewels tied to palace traditions or state duties, these items reflected a new chapter, one where she explored love, privacy, and personal freedom. They stood apart from the heirlooms and formal gifts that defined her earlier years, representing a woman forging her own identity outside the rigid expectations of the monarchy. The Swan Lake Suite. In the final months of her life, Princess Diana stepped further into her role as a global humanitarian, while also presenting a more polished, sophisticated image of herself, one that was powerful, glamorous, and wholly independent. This evolution was perfectly embodied in the now famous Swan Lake Suite, a jewelry set created for Diana by the crown jeweler Gerard. The suite consisted of a diamond and South Sea pearl necklace, accompanied by a matching pair of earrings that were still being completed at the time of her death. It would become the last set of formal jewels she wore in public, and one of the most haunting symbols of her enduring mystique. Diana wore the Swan Lake necklace in June 1997 at a gala performance of Swan Lake at the Royal Albert Hall, just 2 months before her passing. As Arlen Ettinger, president of Guernsey's auction house, later reflected, she was wearing borrowed material. Then she blossomed into a tower of strength and became very much her own. So designing a necklace was a statement for her. Paired with an ice blue Jacques Azaguri gown, the necklace glistened under the lights and received widespread praise from fashion critics. The elegant piece featured 5 strands of pearls suspended from a diamond framework, creating a dramatic, yet regal silhouette. It marked a clear departure from traditional royal jewels, modern, artistic, and custom-made for a woman no longer defined solely by her royal status. The matching earrings, however, were never worn by Diana. According to Gerard, they were still being crafted when news of her death stunned the world. After her passing, the set became known unofficially as the Swan Lake Suite. In the years that followed, it was returned to Gerard and eventually sold by private owners at auction. The pieces have changed hands more than once, but their origin and connection to Diana have never faded from public memory. Each time the suite is put on display or up for sale, it revives fascination with her final days and the style statement she made without words. Beyond the Swan Lake Suite, several other signature pieces from Diana's collection have been inherited and worn by her daughters-in-law, further extending her legacy. Speaking about the spirit his mother embodied, Prince William once said, "Everyone has the potential to give something back." Catherine, Princess of Wales, has frequently worn Diana's sapphire earrings and the famous sapphire engagement ring.
This was Diana's sapphire engagement ring that William gave to her, so really, really special. I think maybe the kind of blue inspiration and connection is maybe a nod and out of respect to Diana.
Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, has been seen in Diana's gold butterfly earrings and a diamond bracelet gifted by Harry. These jewels are not merely decorative, they are bridges between generations, carrying emotional history and silent messages of continuity. The Swan Lake Suite stands apart not just for its design, but for what it represents: the transformation of a royal figure into an icon of independence, elegance, and compassion. It captures the essence of Diana's final chapter, not as a princess bound by tradition, but as a woman writing her own legacy in pearls and diamonds. Today, the suite remains a poignant reminder of her unfinished story and the light she left behind. What do you think Princess Diana truly wanted William to feel when he opened that jewelry box? Was it comfort or a quiet warning? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you felt the emotion in this story, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more untold royal moments and check out one of the 2 videos on your screen now. You won't want to miss what we uncovered next.